Okay, so not necessarily tonight for dinner. Tonight you're making a pot roast. What are you making right now?
Some Dove chicken nuggets.
Mmm.
Mmm.
No.
What?
It's cooling off.
What is that pizza doing?
Okay, so what do you have over here?
Egg,
Tell me everything.
flour,
Oh,
and
boy.
breading. I shot this Dove myself, so it's as fresh as it's gonna get. Actually, need to kind of tenderize them a little bit.
Today, I asked my son what he would do if something happened to me and I couldn't cook anymore for him. And he said, find a bird, shoot the bird, kill the bird, cut the bird, eat the bird. Or eat the meat.
Can you
was so
put some
funny.
olive oil in the pan for me, please?
Should really use vegetable oil. Okay, we're gonna do vegetable oil instead of olive oil because olive oil has a lower burning point. We're just gonna do that. Canola oil would have been good too, but this is what we have. And don't do too many things in the oil at once because it'll bring down the temperature of the oil. So we'll just do that, and we'll probably do them for 2 to 3 minutes per side since they're so small. And I just have the heat on medium. Okay, it's been 2.5 minutes and I'm just flipping them. Now they're done.
Oh. we need to pour in.
Don't take your eyes off the garlic. It will burn really fast.
Yeah, that's like kind of scrape the bread. Yeah, I do. I think I'm gonna have a double layer. That shit looks a little tough.
Ew.
Huh, stew.
Vegetable isn't soup. What? Disgusting thing ever.
This is pot roast.
Hey guys! So tonight is Thursday night and I'm making the Pioneer Woman's Salisbury steak recipe. This is so good. I make it with my own mashed potatoes. I don't follow her recipe. And then I do these like creamy mushrooms with the sauce and it's so good. But it has heavy cream in the sauce and usually when I make this I don't have heavy cream and it sucks because it's so good. But so I've just taken some Yukon Gold potatoes. I kind of think 3 for each person and that includes leftovers for each person. So I have already washed them, I've peeled them. I'm gonna chunk them up, put them in a pot of cold water, bring that to a boil with a lot of salt in it, and then I'm gonna get started on my Salisbury steak. Your fish?
No. It smells disgusting. Smell it.
No, thank you.
I don't want to smell it.
Okay, so to start off with the steaks, I need some salt, pepper, some seasoned breadcrumbs, a little bit of heavy cream, some ground mustard, Worcestershire ketchup, and a beef bouillon cube. These are a pain in the rear to smash, but I'm going to need one of those. And they're all going to get mixed into here. Okay, so I'm gonna add that was half a cup. Breadcrumbs. Okay, so I have half a cup of the breadcrumbs in here. Salt and pepper. I need 2 tablespoons. Heavy cream. Okay. Mustard. Okay, so I need 2 teaspoons of just ground mustard. which I don't have enough. So we'll just do what's left. That was like 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm gonna go ahead and improvise and put in a little bit of yellow mustard. Not too much because I don't want these to be too wet, but just a little bit. Okay, get rid of ingredients already used. Okay, so I need, it says 4 dashes of Worcestershire, but I do a lot because I noticed you can't really taste it. Okay, got pepper, I'm gonna do some more because I like pepper. I don't remember how I've smashed this in the past, but I have. Okay, so I remembered I normally don't put this in here, but because it's a pain in the butt, but I just went ahead and smashed it with my pepper shaker, and we're just gonna put it in there like that. Okay, now I'm rolling this into just oblong patties, like it says, to kind of just make it look like steaks, like little steaks, and put your finger indentions in them. It literally says to do that in the recipe.
Okay. Okay.
This is so easy, and it's so good. These don't have to be perfect. I just wham bam, thank you ma'am, I'm out. So I went ahead and melted a tablespoon of butter and olive oil each into the pan. So you want the olive oil for kind of the browning effects, and you want the butter for the flavor. So that has now melted. My potatoes are now boiling. I'm gonna set a timer for like 8 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and check on them until they're fork tender, a little over to where they break apart, so that way they're really smooth when I beat them, because I don't like when they're grainy and hard to beat. So got that, and now I'm just gonna place my steaks in, just one at a time. I am gonna do the bigger ones first, since the little ones will probably be for leftovers. And this is again just on medium-high heat. Medium heat, sorry. Okay, and I actually think these all are gonna fit. So those are gonna go for 3 to 4 minutes per side. I went ahead and changed that since I'm gonna be checking on the potatoes. That way I know when to flip these. So those are gonna get going. And I'm gonna go ahead and start chopping an onion for the sauce. Alright, I'm making a cornstarch slurry. It's just 2 tablespoons cornstarch and a 1/4 cup beef broth.
Okay.
And I'm just going to whisk it. This is going to get added into the gravy, and it's going to make it thick.
Really? I'm cleaning the table off.
Perfect. Getting it ready?
Yeah, I got some water on my hands.
Awesome. Alright, now I'm going to take 2 cups of beef broth. Then I'm going to add a couple dashes of Worcestershire. Quite a few. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons ketchup. It calls for 1, but I always feel like it needs more. And then I'm going to turn the heat down to medium-low. I'm going to stir this, and then I'm going to cook and reduce it for a couple of minutes. So this kind of works to deglaze the pan from all of the just yummy bits from the beef and the onions, the caramelized bits that were stuck to the pan. So I'm working to get those off and mixing the ketchup. Okay, and my mashed potatoes are done. They're looking good. I'm just gonna throw in 2 tablespoons of butter. Actually 3 while it's hot, so those potatoes will really absorb that. I never measure when I make mashed potatoes what I do, but I need to. So I'm gonna start with 3 tablespoons butter and a 1/4 cup of milk. I'm gonna add another 1/4 cup of milk. Okay, now I'm just gonna add in the slurry that we mixed together earlier. Very important, if that slurry is not mixed beforehand, you are gonna have a mess. You're gonna have to just pitch all of this. It's happened to me before. I thought I could maybe work out some of the lumps, and no, it didn't work. It's like if you make biscuits and gravy and you fuck it up. So that's what it'll look like. I'm gonna just mix all of this in. So there's that. If it ends up getting too thick, you can add more of the broth. So that's why you wanna start out with the correct amount of cornstarch first, in case you don't have any more broth to thin it out. I mean, I guess you could use water or something, worst case scenario. I usually do this, and then I usually always end up messing with it. Like I'll add more of the cornstarch slurry to thicken it, or I'll add more beef broth because I like more gravy, and we like to have a little bit more with our food because we also use this as gravy for the mashed potatoes. As for the mashed potatoes, I just added in a butt ton of this salt. It's just pink Himalayan salt. It's really good. So that's going, and I'm gonna get started on my mushrooms. Okay, so now I'm just melting 3 tablespoons butter, 1 tablespoon olive oil before I put my mushrooms in. Stainless steel pan, really like it. Don't make eggs in it because they stick and they're a bitch to get off. And it's going over medium heat. Okay, so now I want to do 4 cloves garlic minced. I'm just going to do like, that's one tablespoon. I'm going to do 2 tablespoons garlic. And you want to watch this because garlic burns very easily. So we're going to get this going. It's already turning brown. You just want to cook it until fragrant. So we're going to watch that. Okay, so it's been about 45 seconds. Garlic is just becoming a nice light brown color. It'll start to smell really fragrant when it's ready. I'll wait for the garlic to finish cooking. I'm gonna go ahead and just nestle these steaks back in. I didn't do the best job of mixing these last time. This time I can see the breadcrumbs really in it, which is not a bad thing. To me, it makes it a little bit more steaky. So I'm gonna nestle these in and I'm gonna coat them with the sauce and let them continue cooking on low heat. Okay, do you see how the garlic is getting browner in some spots? That means it's almost done. It will turn on you very quickly, like if you're broiling toast or something in the oven. So we're gonna go ahead and dump all the mushrooms in. And just coat those around.
Good.
And I have a sprinkle of cayenne pepper, a teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of chili powder, half a cup of heavy cream. It's a little over half a cup, whatever. And then, as you saw, the garlic. So I'm just going to season the mushrooms with this mixture. And this makes them taste so good and smell so good. All of that garlic. And then those spices, I don't know why I never thought to make mushrooms this way. I will link all of these recipes down below. They're amazing. I've made both of these so many times. I usually make them as a set together. Like I always make these mushrooms when I make the Salisbury steak. Alright, so that's been cooking for like 4 minutes. Now I'm just going to add the chicken broth. And I'm going to cook that. It says for 10 seconds, so not for very long. We don't want to steam these mushrooms really. Alright, and then I'm going to add heavy cream and cook for 3 to 4 minutes, and then they're done. So a little less. So it was a little over. I mean, look at that. Oh, and it's red from the spices, and it just smells so good. Truth be told, I have a little bit of a cold, so I can't smell it completely, but I can a little bit, and I know how it normally smells. I'm gonna cook those for, we'll do 4 minutes. And then these are just nestling away, getting nice and warm.